What if I told you that the life you've been desperately searching for isn't hiding in some distant future, but has been quietly sitting next to you this whole time, waiting for you to notice? What if being lost wasn't a mistake, but the beginning of the only map that really matters? Your own? I used to hate the night. I hated that silence, the way it seemed to amplify everything I was running from. When the world went quiet, my head became louder. All the voices of comparison, of regret, of self-doubt would pile up. I'd scroll on my phone until my eyes burned, convincing myself I was just passing time, when deep down, I was terrified of sitting alone with my own thoughts. There were nights when I stared at the ceiling, replaying conversations I messed up, relationships I ruined, chances I didn't take. I told myself I was behind, that everyone else had already figured out their path. And me? I was the one left circling in the dark. It's funny. When you're lost, the world doesn't actually look different. The streets are the same. The faces are the same. The difference is inside you. You feel like a stranger in your own skin. You go through the motions, but every step feels like it belongs to someone else's life. For me, it started small. I remember one particular night. I had been lying in bed for hours, phone in my hand, eyes heavy but restless. Something in me broke. I tossed the phone aside, and for the first time in a long time, I whispered out loud, "I don't know what I'm doing." My voice cracked. It felt stupid, childish, but it was real. And that was the moment something shifted. Being lost isn't about not having answers. It's about finally admitting that the answers you've been chasing weren't really yours to begin with. Think about it. How much of what you call your dreams are actually borrowed? Maybe from your parents, your friends, society, or from that endless scroll of strangers you compare yourself to. You want the job because it looks good on paper. You want the relationship because it looks good online. You want the house, the body, the lifestyle, because someone somewhere convinced you that was the measure of a meaningful life. But when the lights go off at night and you're stuck with just yourself, none of those borrowed dreams hold you. They slip through your fingers like smoke, and that's why you feel empty. The night I finally admitted I was lost, I realized something. Being lost is not the enemy. Being lost is proof that the old map stopped working. And maybe that's not a failure. Maybe it's freedom. The next morning, I didn't suddenly find my purpose. Nothing magical happened, but I did something small. I went for a walk without my headphones. I let myself hear my own footsteps. I noticed the way the air felt on my skin, and I realized I had been drowning out my own life with noise, with distractions, with this endless chase for something I couldn't even name. That was the first tiny step. And here's the truth. Transformation doesn't start with a giant leap. It starts with a pause, with one small moment of honesty, with the courage to say, "I don't know, but I'm willing to listen." The more I leaned into that, the more I discovered something wild. The reason I felt lost wasn't because I was broken. It was because I was still carrying a version of myself that no longer existed. I was dragging around expectations I had outgrown, identities that didn't fit, dreams that weren't mine, and I hadn't given myself permission to let them go. What if being lost isn't about finding a new path? What if it's about burning the old map and learning how to walk without one? I started asking myself different questions. Not, what should I do with my life? But, what feels honest to me right now? Not, who do I want to impress? But, who feels safe? Who feels real? Who makes me forget to perform? Not, how can I get ahead? But, how can I feel alive in this very moment? And slowly, the world changed. Not because the world was different, but because I was. I'll be real with you. It wasn't glamorous. Some days it meant crying in the shower. Some days it meant admitting to people I loved that I wasn't okay. Some days it meant disappointing others because I finally chose myself. But each small act of honesty was like lighting a candle in the dark. And little by little, those candles began to show me a path I didn't know was there. Here's the thing nobody tells you. You don't have to know where you're going to keep walking. Life isn't asking you to have a 5-year plan. It's asking you to be present for the next 5 minutes, to take one honest breath, to make one true choice, to take one imperfect step. If you feel lost right now, maybe that's life's way of pulling you back to yourself. Maybe it's a reminder that you can't keep outsourcing your sense of direction. Maybe it's the universe gently saying, stop running, stop pretending, stop scrolling, and just sit with yourself for a moment. Because when you finally stop filling the silence, you'll realize something. The voice you've been waiting for has been whispering all along. It's quiet, it's subtle, but it's yours. And that voice doesn't care about impressing anyone. It doesn't care about algorithms or timelines or whether you're behind. That voice only cares about truth, about what makes you come alive, about what makes you feel human. You don't have to rebuild your entire life tonight. You don't have to figure it all out before you sleep. But you can do one thing. You can choose honesty. You can whisper to yourself, the way I did, I don't know. And instead of seeing that as defeat, you can see it as the most powerful beginning. Being lost is not a curse. It's an invitation to stop chasing, to stop performing, to stop pretending, an invitation to finally meet yourself where you are. And maybe, just maybe, when you stop searching for the perfect path, you'll realize you are already walking it. So if you feel lost tonight, let that be okay. Let the questions stay unanswered. Let the silence speak. Don't run from it. Don't numb it. Just breathe. Because every person who ever found themselves had to be lost first. And you're right where you need to be. And when you close your eyes after this, I hope you realize you are not behind, you are not broken, and you are not alone. You are simply becoming.